Push the record button. All right. Okay, let's get started. So today the topic is on, as you can see, finding the vertex. Okay, now what is a vertex? Let's make sure that we are all on the same page. Okay. The vertex is, let's say, if you have a parabola like that. Okay, we are all talking about, this chapter is all about parabolic or quadratic function. Remember, parabola and quadratic are the same thing. Okay. Now, when we, let's say, graph parabola, there is always that turning point, or the, you might call it, very bottom of the U shape. And that point is called the vertex. And I need you guys to be able to find the vertex for each parabola. Now, let me remind you, parabola could be also, it could be upside down U shape. It's like a mountain shape. In that case, the parabola is right, the vertex is on the very top. Lots of the problems deals with the upside down parabola or upside down U-shaped parabola, because when you throw a ball, when you shoot the cannonball, that has that trajectory of the parabolic function or quadratic function. Right? So, and oftentimes the question will ask you, what's the highest, what's the highest point that the baseball reached, or something like that. There will be a question relating to finding the highest point of the parabola. Okay. Anyway, so now, so the vertex is the lowest or the highest point, right? Oftentimes it's called turning point. Okay? It goes from going down to going up. That's the turning point, isn't it? Now, if I ask you to find the vertex, what is your answer going to look like? What is a, how would you express a vertex? What do you guys think? I don't know if my question was clear enough for you to answer. Vertex, find the vertex, right? I will ask you on the test, and then what do you think your answer is going to look like? Okay. Can you guys all still hear me? Okay. Okay. So the vertex, yeah, thank you, Gentry. The vertex is a coordinate because it's a point. Okay? Vertex is a point. And how would you express a point? Well, by way of coordinate. And when I say coordinate, coordinate is made up of X and Y coordinate. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, how do you find the other coordinate? Well, now I want you to write this. Well, I want you to write everything right here. Okay. But there is a vertex formula. Okay. And now you cannot find X and Y coordinate all at the same time. You have to find one at a time, and you are going to find it x coordinate first. Okay, so here is the formula. X coordinate of the vertex is given by negative b over 2a. That is the formula. It does have a very similar component to the quadratic formula, isn't it? Negative b plus minus square root. You don't need all of that, but negative b over 2a will get you the x coordinate of the vertex. So let's write it down up to this point, okay? So I'll give you about a minute to catch up on writing. And then we will do an example. Maybe some of you are wondering, well, okay, how about y coordinate? Well, we'll get to that when we do the example number 1. Again, is everybody writing this in your notes? Very important that you have this, okay? Does anybody need more time? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Anybody, last call? All right. Okay, so let's find the vertex. So here's the quadratic function, and we want to find the vertex, okay? Again, remember, always when you look at the face a math question, you first thing you want to look for is what would my answer going to look like, okay? That would give you sort of a overall direction of what you want to do, okay? And that we want to find the vertex, and that means we want your answer is going to be made up of x and y coordinate, okay? So vertex, x coordinate. Now, how do you find the x coordinate? Well, it's negative b over 2a. So what is a b and what's a a? Well, a is the number in front of x squared, right? And that's 1, okay? And b is negative 6. And we don't need, but c is going to be negative 2 in quadratic formula. Okay? No, we do not set x to 0. Oh, okay. That will be the y-intercept, isn't it? Part. Very good question, though. Okay, and we'll get to that for y. But let's figure out the x-coordinate first. Okay. Very good question. Very good question. X-coordinate, to find the x-coordinate over the vertex is, it's going to be opposite of b. Now, b is, since negative 6, so it's going to be positive 6. You okay with that? And then over 2 times 1. So what's 6 divided by 2? It is 3. So you just found the x coordinate of the vertex. That wasn't too bad, right? That wasn't so difficult. Now the question is, how do we find a y coordinate? Does anybody have any idea? Now we had some idea of putting 0 in x and solve for y. Now you don't want to do that in this case. Okay. And that will give you the negative 2 is. And what is a negative 2? Negative 2 is that's a y-intercept. But y-intercept and y-coordinate of the vertex are not the same thing, okay? So you don't want to do that, okay? So what else do we do? The hint is this. X coordinate is 3. So how do you find the y coordinate when x coordinate is 3? And that itself, the state question itself was actually the answer. Let me say this again. That's right, Gentry, nice job. When x is 3, what is a y coordinate? Well, then you better plug in 3 into x, isn't it? Okay. So now to find y coordinate, let's see. Let's write it down, spell out to find y coordinate. Plug 3 in x. And the 3 is coming from the x coordinate that we just found out. Then you can figure out what y value is when x is 3. Does that make sense? So let's try that. So we've got y equals, we're going to plug in 3, plug 3 into all the x's. So 3 squared minus 6 times 3 minus 2. And that value is going to give you the y coordinate when, again, x is 3. So that's 9, 18. What is that? Negative 9, negative, what is it? Negative 11? Negative 11. So we found it, okay? Vertex is going to be 3, negative 11. What do you guys think? So let's just recap on what we just did. So tell me as though you're speaking to me, okay? How do you find it x coordinate of a vertex? Everybody try to answer that. How do you find x coordinate of a vertex? You use vertex formula, x coordinate vertex formula, negative b over 2a, okay? And how do you find y coordinate? You're going to plug in that x coordinate you just found back into the equation to find y coordinate. You get that? So let me just show you the graph. So here I have the equation. Let's graph that. Oh, the window is not big enough there. Right there. I know it's kind of hard to see, but here's the vertex. And it does look like about 3 and then negative 11. Right? And then the y-intercept is right there. Y-intercept is negative, or what is it? Y-intercept is negative 2. right? Y-intercept is -2, but the vertex is 3, -11. Okay. All right, what do you guys think? Can you guys do that? Let's do the assignment, okay? So I've got four problems. Yeah, I think we'll have a lots of leftover time here, which is okay. So this is the, what happened? This is the homework 2.4 and identifying the vertex, okay? You don't need to worry about x-intercepts and y-intercept. All you need to find out is the y vertex, okay? So let's begin. You guys ready for number one? So write down the, let's change the color. Is everybody ready for number one? Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna let you guys work on it. How do you find x? So find the vertex. Let's find the x coordinate. You guys know what to do. How do you find x coordinate again? Okay, take a look at the notes. It's negative b over 2a, right? So it is a, in this case, is 2. B is negative 16. So negative b, you read it as, think of it as an opposite sign of b, okay? So since b is a negative 16, it will be positive 16. You okay on that? So positive 16, 2 times 2. That's 16 divided by 4, which is 4. So you just found x coordinate of the vertex. Now, how do you find a y coordinate? Well, to find y coordinate, you're going to plug in back 4 back into the equation. So y equals 2 times 4 squared minus 16 times 4 plus 31. What did you get for y coordinate? Can you show me in the chat? Would you share it in the chat? The y coordinate of the vertex for number one. Very good. Anybody else? Is everybody participating? Is everybody working on this? right, so you definitely don't want to do 2 times 4, okay? You've got to take care of a 4 square first, which is 16, right? So you've got 2 times 16, which is, well, and then minus 16 times 4 plus 31. 2 times 16 is 32. I don't need a calculator for that. 32. And then negative 16 times 4 will be negative, what is it? 64. And then 32 minus 64 is negative 32 plus 31. So it looks like it's going to be negative 1. Yeah, it can be really tricky. You really need to take care of the sign. The answer it should be negative 1. Yeah, because again, you're plugging in 4 into x, right? So since the equations has x squared, so if you plug 4 into the x, you have a 4 squared. Does that make sense? Yeah, are you able to identify your mistake, guys? If you're not getting negative 1. Now, so even though we are pretty much done, but let's make sure we present, okay, in the right way. So the vertex is what? That's what we want, right? Vertex is 4, negative 1. Okay, let's present your answer in what it is. Again, vertex is a coordinate, okay? Okay, number 2. So I'm gonna let you guys all do this all on you by yourself, okay? So let's find the x coordinate. Let me give you a minute. Timer on my computer here. Anybody have any questions? Do you guys want to share the full coordinate X and Y when you're done. All right, it's been 1 minute, maybe. Where are you guys? Do you have the coordinate for number 2? Anybody? Okay, very good. Gentry said 2 and 5. Would you agree with that? Okay, let's get started. So x coordinate. X coordinate is going to be, so b is 4. So this one will be opposite of positive 4. So it will definitely be negative 4 over 2 times. Now, what is a though? A is negative 1. So it's 2 times the negative 1. Did you guys have that? So it's negative 4 over 2 times negative 1. And that will be negative 4 over negative 2. Now, what's a negative 4 divided by negative 2? And that will be positive 2, isn't it? So the x coordinate is going to be positive 2. Is everybody okay on that? I don't know. Did anybody miss that negative sign right here? Or did anybody forgot to flip the sign for B? It's positive 4, so it has to be negative 4. Okay. And then A is negative 1 right there. Okay, so you got to keep those um, factors into consideration. Okay, so now let's figure out y coordinate. Now we're going to plug in back 2 into the equation. Now this could potentially be problem. I'm talking about this right here. What did you guys get for y coordinate? Yeah, this should be 5. The answer should be 5. Did anybody get 5? Gentry, you got 5. Very good. Did anybody get 5 for the y coordinate? 5 is the correct answer. Vertex is 2 and 5. Now, if you didn't get 5, hey, no reason to be discouraged about this. This could be very, very tricky. It's about this one right here, negative sign, right? I've been telling you guys, hey, if you square the negative number, it's a positive, right? So some of you must have gotten 4 plus 8 plus 1, or what will that be? 12, 13? Did anybody get 13 for y coordinate? That's not bad, but it's not correct. Okay. Now, what it is this. Because I've been telling you guys that if it's negative 2 squared, that will be positive 4, right? But in this case, it is negative 1 and then times 2 squared. That's what that negative x squared means. We've got right here negative x squared, and that means it's negative 1 times x squared. And that's what that means. And since x is just 2, you better do 2 squared, which is 4. But then you've got negative. So it turned out to be negative 4. So this is negative 4 plus 8 plus 1, and which will give you positive 5. Okay. Yeah, very good. So yeah, that's a very tricky. Yeah. Okay, number 3. Okay, about 2 minutes. Is anybody still lying in bed by any chance? Because I've seen my son doing that. He had his phone and he was just listening to the teacher and he's still in bed. Oh. Do you guys remember that our first period way back in when we used to go to the building, it was 7:30. Can you believe that? Our first class was 7:30. Comparing to that, 7:15 is not too bad. Now we are all staying up really too late. Now 8:15 is really early, isn't it? All right. It's been about 2 minutes. Anybody would like to share your coordinate? Where is the vertex? So that's 2 minutes. Anybody? Okay, anybody else? Thank you, Haley. Okay, we've got the same one again. Haley and Crystal, you've got the same coordinate. Nice job. Well, I'm guessing that you did correctly. Let's figure out. Let's see. Okay. Okay, very good. Did I see anybody else? Just 2 of you. So at least I know 2 people are working on it, or maybe more people. All right, x coordinate will be opposite of b. Since b is already negative, the opposite will be positive 6. Positive 6 over 2 times a. So that's a 6 over 6, which is 1. Okay, so now let's plug in. To find y coordinate, you're going to plug 1 back into the equation. 3 times 1 squared minus 6 times 1 plus 4. Please make sure that you write it down, okay? Don't try to do this all in your head. Now 1 squared 1 squared is just 1. So 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6 plus 4. That's negative 3 plus 4. So it's going to be positive 1. So the vertex is 1, 1. Okay. Great job. Did you get that? Last question. Okay. We just have one more topic to cover tomorrow, and that will be it. And then the rest of the week, we will be reviewing, and then we'll take a test. Probably we won't be able to make it. Well, I may just make the test available to you guys on Friday, but we'll do some more review on Thursday and Friday. Okay, and then we'll take a test. So we are almost done with this unit, guys. Now, how are you guys doing on that? Number 4. Maybe 1 more minute. Please share the coordinate when you're done. Anybody for number 4? Okay. All right, let's get started. Anybody else? Let's do the x coordinate. B, opposite of a b. Now b is positive 6 this time, so opposite will be negative 6. Okay. Again, the formula is opposite of a b over 2a. Okay. That's the x coordinate vertex formula. So negative 6 over 2 times 1. It's negative 6 divided by 2. So the x coordinate will be negative 3. Okay. Now you're going to plug in negative 3 back into the equation to find a y coordinate. This time we're going to, since we're plugging in negative number, so you're going to do negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 and plus 7. Now we are plugging in. We are plugging in negative number, right? So you're going to do negative 3 squared, which is positive 9. Yeah. And then 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. Then plus 7. So 9 minus 18, that's negative 9 plus 7. So negative 9 plus 7 will be negative 2. So the vertex, negative 3, negative 2. Nice job, Crystal. Anybody else? Did anybody else get that? Negative 3, negative 2? How are you guys feeling on this? Easy or where are you guys? You got that? Very good. Nice job, Mia. Scale of 1 to 5, where are you? You've got it? Pretty easy? Very good. Yeah? Okay. Now, we do have about 30 minutes left. I won't keep you guys any longer than I need to. However, before I let you guys go, I want you to do a couple of things, okay? First, I want you to go to Canvas. Actually, so I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to stop recording.